got me tripping. Ever since I saw you, I went slipping. Didn't even know you. Couldn't even breathe without you. It's how I'm feeling. All I ever wanted, you I'm digging. It's how you got me started. Couldn't even be without you. I wanna be by your side. That's what I'm trying to say. You got me breathless, got me breathless. When you do all the things you do to me, you got me reckless, got me reckless. When you say all the things you say to me. I know nothing. Ever since I wanted you, I went dripping. Never even wanted to. Couldn't even breathe without you. I ain't chilling. My head is spinning round. I went slipping. Never even wanted you. Now I can't be
Hey everyone,
without you.
as you can tell, we're not in Guam anymore. We're here in Harajuku, Tokyo, Japan. And I just bought my new camera, which is the Nikon, or Nikon, because we're here in Japan, D850. And I'm using the Sigma 135 1.8 art lens for this portrait photo shoot with our model today, who is...
Hello guys, my name is Erika Vitucci. I'm 20 years old. I'm half Italian, half Japanese. I moved here like 10 months ago for university and I started modeling in Italy. I appeared on Marie Claire Italia and other work. Yeah, and follow me on Instagram, Erika Vitucci.
And of course, we'll put it like right here on the
here.
screen. As you can see behind us, there is a lot of people here at Harajuku, so it is kind of hard to do some shots. So the reason why I chose this lens is it's able to blur the background, so you won't see much of the people. But Erica, so far you've seen some of the pictures.
Yes.
How do you like the quality coming out from this camera?
Like the quality is so good that it doesn't look like a picture.
Okay.
Even like the lights, it really make my face
Can it
stand
pop
out.
out, stand out? Yes.
Stand out in the picture. Yeah.
I notice it's very contrasty.
Yes.
So
it
the
is.
blacks are very deep.
Yeah.
And like the highlights, especially with her makeup, is really bright. So the image, as you're saying, does pop.
It does.
So we're going to continue shooting at the bridge behind us, and maybe some of the areas where it's not too crowded.
You got me breathless, got me breathless. When you do all the things you do to me, you got me reckless.
This Nikon D850 is built really well. It is weather resistant. It has magnesium alloy chassis. Like I said, it is built to withstand really harsh weather conditions. The grip is different from what I used to have, the D800. It feels better in the hands, a little bit bigger. The optical pentaprism, it is optical viewfinder. It is not electronic viewfinder, but it is the largest, I believe, Nikon has in this body style at 0.75 magnification. I think the highlight of this camera is the rear 3.2-inch touchscreen. It is rated at 2.6 million pixels, and the touch to focus is very easy to use. I just explained to Erica that it's like your smartphone where you can pinch to zoom in, pinch to zoom out, and swipe to change the photos. It is coming in, the weight is about 2 pounds, but Erica, when I first gave you the camera, what did you say right away when I first gave it to you?
Oh, that it's really heavy.
It's really heavy, so yeah, the camera itself is 2 pounds, but when you add the lens, which is a really good portrait lens,
Yeah.
it's probably coming in like 5 or 6 pounds already.
You really
Yeah.
need to be careful with this.
Yes. And can you demonstrate the
Oh yeah.
the touch screen features?
So I thought it was really cool the fact that you can scroll just by touching. I think it makes it easier to look at the picture.
I like how you can double tap to zoom in right away
Yeah.
to check focus.
Oh,
and then you can, yeah, yep.
I also really like the pictures. So it's nice to zoom in and to see.
Well, I also discovered if you move your finger towards the bottom of the screen, the way bottom edge, there you go. You see how it comes up?
Oh, nice.
So it's like a scrub.
Sorry.
The black bar in the bottom. There we go. So you can move it, so you can go through it faster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes it easier to check.
very
for the
easy.
right picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, cool. We'll keep on shooting.
You got me breathless, got me breathless. When you do all the things you do to me, you got me reckless, got me reckless. When you say all the things you say to me.
This new Nikon D850 has a new battery, EN-EL15A. It is a lithium rechargeable up to 1840 shots. It has built-in SnapBridge connectivity, where while you're taking pictures, it could go straight to your cell phone. Other physical features is there's different function buttons on the camera itself, where you can actually rate the photos as you go along, or you can customize it for a certain function that you want on the D850, which is new compared to the older D800 series cameras.
Reckless, got me reckless. When you say all the things you say to me. I know nothing ever since I wanted you. I went dripping, never even wanted to. Couldn't even breathe without you. I ain't chilling, my head is spinning round. I went slipping, never even wanted you. Now I can't be without you. I wanna be by your side. That's what I'm trying to say.
So some of the internal features of the Nikon D850, it has a really awesome sensor, 45.7 megapixels. It is BSI, which stands for backside illuminated. So high ISO performance in low light is pretty good. I'm going to read from my notes here. It does 7 frames per second, but if you want faster frames per second and 9 frames per second, you need to add the battery grip. The model number for that is MBD18, and you need a EN-EL18A or B battery for that. It has 4K video, of course, at 30 frames per second, 153 total face detection points, and it could really focus well in low light at -4 EV, which is basically moonlight. Erica, I know you've done modeling in Italy,
Yes.
some modeling here, and you've seen pictures from a lot of photographers' cameras. This is a new camera that just came out. The image quality that you're seeing right now from this sensor, how would you rate it? What do you think of it?
Yeah, you can clearly see that it's a really good quality camera, and of course the colors are really vivid. As I was saying, like the pink of my
Yes.
shoes, it's exactly the same as the pink shown in the picture, which
So color
shows-
accurate, yeah, that's correct.
And also, as we discussed before, the star thing of the camera that you can.
Oh yes, you can rate the camera
Yeah,
or
which
rate the photo on the
yeah.
camera.
I think it's really cool the fact that you can choose which one you prefer,
Yes,
like right through the camera instead of choosing it from the computer, which takes out more time.
that's true. So on location during the photo shoot, the model can actually rate the photos that she likes, and when the photographer brings it home and loads it up into like Adobe Lightroom, he or she can edit the photos that the model likes as well. And about the color accuracy that you're saying, I do notice with the D850 compared to the older Nikon cameras that I used to use, the colors are a little bit more vibrant in this model of camera. So we have one more wardrobe change and a couple more streets to check out and shoot at.
Yeah.
You got me breathless, got me breathless. When you do all the things you do.
The Nikon D850 compared to the Sony A7 series, I used to use the A7R II for a while. I don't really like the ergonomics with the Sony a7 series body. It's a little bit small compared to the D850, where I can actually hold the camera, and the ergonomics of the D850 is very good, very easy to hold. The image quality, I can't really tell just yet. I need to fly back to Guam and look at the photos on the computer. This also has an option where silent shutter can be activated, and you can actually take photos without the mechanical shutter and just use the electronic shutter. And I'm going to demonstrate that soon. I enabled silent shutter. You do that by pressing the I button, and basically you scroll down to the top. You scroll down to SL, silent. SL1 does it full frame. SL2 is kind of like a crop mode, as you can see. This is cropped in. But let's go back to SL1, which is full frame. And you can actually take a photo without the shutter. So it just took a photo. It just took a photo. As you can hear, it's super silent. Okay, let's check. So here's the photos that I took. Very quiet.
Never even wanted you. Now I can't be without you. I wanna be by your side. That's what I'm trying.
Alright, we just got done with the photo shoot. I just wanted to talk about the comparisons with Micro Four Thirds, the Sony a7 series, and this. Every camera has its own purpose and tool, and this can really blur the background, which I love. And a lot of people tease me, why even fly to a different country and bring a lens which just blurs the background and you don't know where you're at. So I try to take some far away shots where you can see Erica and the street view. So hopefully that turns out good. And I think right now for me this is the best tool, because I love to blur the background. The usability of the touchscreen is so easy to use, very similar to mirrorless, but of course it's not a mirrorless. So I was telling Erica earlier that the optical viewfinder doesn't have a small screen, so the battery actually lasts longer versus mirrorless. Erica, what do you think about the photo shoot overall today?
I loved all the pictures, and all of them you can see the composition.
Yes, the composition, yeah.
Yeah, all the pictures like really, like my presence, like it fits the background like perfectly, like the colors.
Yes, we try to do some, because I noticed the lens very contrasty,
Yeah.
especially with your makeup bringing glow.
Yeah.
And the second outfit is your black dress, and so I try to contrast with like the red signs and the street view of the lighter colors.
Yeah.
And this camera, the sensor really picks up everything good in detail, and I'm shooting it wide open. I'm zooming in, and we can see eyelashes, eyes, everything.
Everything.
So we're gonna fly back to Guam and edit the photos, and those watching should have seen the photos already during the video. You have anything else to say before we go?
Oh, I just want to thank you all guys, because it was really a fun opportunity to like.
It may be very hard to hear Erica.
Yeah.
There's like a motorcade. There's a lot of motorcycles there. Sorry, can you repeat that again?
Oh, sorry. No, it was really fun, and I want to thank everyone.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for helping us out shoot here in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. Okay, we are home now, back on Guam. I want to show you some D850 RAW files. This RAW file has not been touched, unedited. I'm using the profile Dolby Color. Zooming in, it is a very sharp lens using the Sigma 135 shot wide open at 1.8. And I want to show you the dynamic range of the file. So let's go to this file. Let me do a reset. As you can see, if you want to bring back some detail and highlights, just slide down the highlights slider and you can retain all that detail. The sensor is pretty strong. As well as shadows, you can increase the shadows slider and you can get all the detail back. And I do notice when I increase the shadow slider, I don't get any noise here. Pretty good. But I think shadows is increased too much. These files I noticed respond really well to contrast.
so I can up the contrast by like 30, give us some clarity and some vibrance, and you have a very colorful file. Really nice. I did notice that shooting at 1/160th of a second, there is some motion blur. Remember, the D850 does not have IBIS, in-body image stabilization, so I actually need to shoot at a faster shutter speed for this lens. One good example is here. This file is edited, so I did shoot at a faster speed, 1/400th of a second, and zooming in on Erica's face, it is very sharp. Super sharp lens. Okay, another example is an edited file here. 1/400th of a second, zooming in on Erica's glasses, very sharp. So as long as you have, if you don't have a lens that's image stabilized, you may need to shoot at faster speeds for the D850. Last example I want to show you. Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite shots here. Again, zooming out, you can't tell there's much motion blur, but since I was shooting only at 1/200th of a second, I should be shooting above this. Zooming on Erica's face, there's slight motion blur, but you can't really tell when you zoom out. Last photos on the street here. This raw file, unedited, again only using Adobe Color. But if you want to bring back some of the highlights from the sun, again lower it down. Not too much, but lower it down about this. Bring some of the shadows out. Lower down some of the blacks. Contrast responds really well to contrast these files, clarity and vibrance, and you really have a awesome looking photo. Zooming in, my hands were steady even though it was shot at lower shutter speed, so it is a sharp image. But I noticed with the D850, I just need to be careful and understand that there's no IBIS, so I gotta be shooting at higher shutter speeds if the lens doesn't have. Zoom in on this photo. This photo has been edited already. Very sharp photo. I'm loving the dynamic range of the D850 so far. The sensor is amazing. There's no low pass filter on it, so every little bit of sharpness is brought out by the sensor. I can't wait to use this camera more on future events, but I really had fun using it for a photo shoot in Tokyo with Erica. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.